Okay, we are doing this in real time, people. I have to go somewhere. It's my only day off until Sunday. And then Sunday I already got something else to do too, because you know it's the month of December. Let's be busy. What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. Let's talk about some Ripper news. I guess let's call it Ripper news. I know I don't do it as like every weekly or every day like all these other like rock and primarily rock outlets when it comes to the media. But that's because I don't want to be reporting all the time like, oh, there's a new bassist in this band. This is also serious topics too. I don't want to like. Unfortunately, there is a death that just happened recently. We're gonna get on that in just a minute. But let's just talk. There's a lot of drama right now. Holy shit! Like, I'm gonna talk about arch fucking enemy. Like, okay, so you guys haven't seen the post. Alyssa. I can never say her last name, like Weissglues or something. I'm just gonna call her Alyssa. Anyways, my favorite girl, my homegirl. Anyways, she left after 12 years, arch enemy already. Kind of sad. I love Arch Enemy. I've been loving them since Angela. I don't know much about the original singer, sorry. I started listening to them in 2007 or yeah, 2007. A guy that I was messing around with introduced me to that band. Oh, those were the good old vodka in the bathroom days, underage drinking. Not with him, but just in general, that's just what Arch Enemy reminds me of, I know. Yeah, so a lot of underage drinking in the bathroom in high school. Okay. She left after 12 years, and she was a very good replacement for Angela. You know, especially because Alyssa could do, you know, also like, you know, clean vocals and then like the death screaming and all that stuff, right? So she was a very good replacement, and she had left her band, The Agonists, I believe it was, to go with Arch Enemy, as well as still doing some of her own stuff. But now she's just gonna focus on just her own stuff only. But people, I don't know, I feel like in some ways people are over speculating stuff. But I guess the band, they just said, oh yeah, she's leaving our band, you know, I'll post it up here just to summarize it. And then Alyssa Weissglues, you know, she didn't really thank the band and her part. She shared that as well as her old man that she's dating, the old guy she's dating. Expecting like, you know, she didn't really like thank them, and then she said that they even like, what's it called? Supposedly they all unfollowed each other, and I didn't even know this, but supposedly Michael but yeah, I didn't even know he left the band. I thought maybe I knew he was doing like his own projects, but I didn't know he like left the band. So I was like, oh, there's a lot going on that I've been disconnected, and I need to catch back up. I'm like, you know, and I know people had issues with the last album of Arch Enemy. I didn't. I mean, I already talked about it. Is it something I'll go back frequently to? No, but I liked it. You know, I liked it. There's definitely some interesting peaks in it. You heard some thrash in it. I remember he wants Angela back. I will love Angela back. I think it's kind of stupid how people will be like, hey, but she's a mom. So what? How many of them are dads? Somebody's gonna come out being sexist down in the comments. That's fine. Boost my video. That's fine. Like, well, she's 50. So a lot of these bands should have stopped at 40. Let's just say that. So I'm like, okay, you're over here saying that she's 50 and she shouldn't be. Like I said, a lot of these bands should have stopped at 40. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I will love if Angela came back. I will fucking love that. Finally be able to see her with them. I would love that. Alright, so let's talk about Creepy Little Filth lawsuit. That shit got bigger. Some people, even like their original guitarist, I forgot his name, but he was like one of the ones from the 90s. He came out and sued, and because we all know about the one couple that sued, right? Anyways, there was a couple that are suing because of money. They weren't getting paid enough or whatever. It's usually the same thing. And Danny Phil says some disgusting stuff about this lovely young lady right here. I'll post her name right here. I am sorry. I am getting ready. But anyway, about like her miscarriage is her fault because of her previous drinking. Unless there are like doctor's notes saying she was drinking during her pregnancy, that's one thing. But if it's something that they were planning or she just found out and she stopped, then that has nothing to do with it. Danny, you ain't a fucking doctor, so shut up. And hurry up and get on that project with Ed Sheeran or whatever his name is. I want to hear that shit, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, a total of 6 people had came out already. Also saying that they were like using their images like on the updated merch or something like that, or just like you know, on like albums and stuff, and I was like, that's where it gets a little iffy, because obviously we didn't see the contracts or anything like that. But I know somebody was talking about, I think it was Boris T. He was talking about, he was like, I thought once you take a picture with them and do an album artwork with them and you're in the band or whatever, you know, they get to use it whenever they want or whatever. I was like, well, who knows what the contract was? Because either one, yes, you should get paid a big chunk of money, which who knows how long they were with the band, maybe if they were with their peak or not. But yeah, if you're going to be in a video or whatever and they're using it and they're marketing off of you, then you should get royalties. But I don't know if they ever signed that. You know, was it deferred pay? You know, what was it? You know, contracts matter, you guys. That's the thing. Contracts matter. And then I hate how people are saying, like, why are they all coming out now and suing? First of all, probably because they didn't have the money to sue back then. Maybe now they have the money to sue. And not only that, do you guys know how much it is just to get a lawyer? I think like just in general, to get someone just to talk to you is like a couple grand or something like that. Like, do you not know where a couple grand goes to now? It goes to rent. I hate that shit. Like, even like, I hate how people be like, why did they come out sooner? They didn't have the money. They probably got pushed into like not talking about it. They probably got gaslit or something like that. You know, they really wanted to make it. Who knows? Yeah, it's just like you guys don't understand, especially, I mean, I'm sorry, but a lot of you are in a band or want to be in a band. You really want to do anything you can. When I was freelancing, when I was a makeup artist, yes, I did so much cheap work. McDonald's paid more than what I was doing. So yes, you want to make it and everything. And guess what? They end up spitting you out. That's why you have to set boundaries and demand your money. That's the thing. Nobody teaches these freelancers, because musicianship is a freelance job. Nobody teaches you boundaries. Nobody teaches you how to do a contract. Nobody teaches you how to be paid the right way. You know, nobody teaches you how to do a contract where it'll be like, hey, you know, I get it, you don't have no money now, but later on, guess what? Sign this because you're going to pay me that money. You know, so there's a lot. Nobody teaches you these things is what I'm saying. Especially when they find out about sex victims. I go, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you speak? I ain't even getting on to it. Anyways, let's keep moving on. But yeah, so a lot of people came out and sued. That's what I'm done. Sonia Anubis. Oh my god, that is a name I haven't heard in a long time. So Sonia Anubis. God, I haven't followed her stuff. She was with Crypta, and then she was with Burning Witches. I know she did an Instagram story. I don't follow her on there. Maybe I should. I don't follow her, but she also did something like a video saying that she's going to come out with proof and stuff like that. But she said like how she had a horrible time with Burning Witches to the point where it was like traumatic and stuff, right? Which I understand, dude. If you have that one job that traumatized you, fucking... I hate how I keep relating this to my job, but dude, it's probably because it's the holiday season and everything going on out. I understand. And it's funny because I was watching Boris T. He said the same thing. Like, there is something about that job that traumatized you, that you used to work at, that you still have dreams about it. It's weird. Like, you still have dreams about, like, how they treated you like shit. Or just the amount of shit that you have to do. And it's ridiculous. And you know, so, and I remember, not last night, but the night before, I swear to you guys, I wasn't even falling asleep yet. And I barely hit the pillow. And my eyes were like halfway closed. And I was already seeing visions of my management telling me, go over here, go over there. I had visions of like clients coming up to me non-stop with their irritation. I understand what Sonia Anubis is trying to say here. So, but it's supposedly that the management told her that she had to wear her makeup at all times because she looked ugly. They were hardly paying her anything. And whenever she performed, even if she was doing, I believe it was like if she was doing like, you know, videos for like Instagram or whatever, like they made her stand all the time. Like, how dare you call your fucking anybody? Why are you calling them ugly? You don't call them ugly unless you're in a petty ass argument or something like that, right? But yeah, she definitely went through some abuse, and now she's doing her own thing. And oh yeah, they didn't want her to talk about like, you know, the stuff she's doing too. Actually, okay, here's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I know most bands and most musicians always have something else doing, because you never know if the band's gonna break up. You can't, you know, you don't know. It's not all gonna be like a Metallica kind of success. Hell, but you know, you have to kind of do your own situation, especially if you're not like the lead singer and you're not well known. Hell, even sometimes the lead singers do their own situations, you know? So it's like, I don't see why she can, but at the same time, it's like, girl, what contract did you sign? At the end of the day, yeah, it's about the contracts you guys signed, you know? So keep that in mind, fellow musicians. Contracts are everything. Dogma. Okay, I don't know much about this band, but it's like an all-female band, and they dress up like nuns with corpse paints, and they're very like kind of sexualized. You know, I don't know too much about it, so I'm not gonna say they're like overly sexualized or anything like that. But there was some situations too, similar to all the previous stories we just talked about. You know, they weren't getting paid enough. They were getting paid $100 a week. I mean, not a week. Oh no, that's nothing. $100 a day while they were on tour or something. Keep in mind, I don't think they were being paid for like, you know, transportation, you know, or doing like events. I don't know if they were eventing, but yeah, it was another situation like that. And I know there was like a total of 5 or 6 members, and I know like half of them end up leaving, and they're now doing like their own group. So yeah, let me know if their music was good, or should I not even like support it just because, like, you know, they're not together anymore. But yeah, they definitely end up separating, which they look kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. I just never paid attention to their music because I didn't know about them. I didn't even know about them till recently with all the scandal going on. Vitriol. Okay, Vitriol. At first I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the story was funny, but I didn't know the full-on details. Okay, I heard straight through Slam Dad on TikTok that the lead singer and his girlfriend were dropped off at the gas. Was it Thanksgiving? Or so, no, it was before Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. They were dropped off at a gas station, and the band publicly announced it that they left their lead singer at a gas station because of his bad behavior and his mood swings, right? And I thought that shit was funny at first and everything. But then I found out the band was on cocaine. And then they were... Have you dealt with drug addicts? I have. There's one that lives in my garage. So now I feel bad for the lead singer. And then I didn't know... I guess he's like bipolar. I don't want to say... I'm not diagnosing him. But they say he has anger, emotional issues, and he even cried. And now I feel bad for being a dick. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Especially because I get triggered easily too. And then I'm just like, dude, just the other day. Oh my God. Okay. I was leaving work. I'm sorry. I'm putting like my own life in this. But you know, might as well be relatable. I was at the supermarket. You know, over there, the delis where they have the prep meals already, and then they're just gonna make it for you, right? You know, put it in a bowl or whatever for you. And you know, we knew where the line started, me and my coworker, right? We knew where the line started. We were on lunch. It was a bitch ass day. The management were extra that day. And we went to go look, see what they had, right? This old lady leaves the line and her cart goes all the way to the front of the deli and tells us, ladies, the line starts over here. And I go, I fucking know. I'm just looking. My coworkers did the same thing, but she didn't cuss like I did. But, you know, and then the lady like backed the fuck up. I was like, yeah. So I get stressed out too. Probably was not the best situation, but that lady looked like she was ready to fight. And I looked like I was ready to take on the fight. So I was like, because I can't do it at, you know, the place of making money. So I was like, might as well do it on your pathetic ass who wants to start on me. As you can tell, I don't have a chair. I got rid of it. We'll get on that later. But anyways, I'm getting a new chair, that's why. On my Zuka bag. Who remembers the Zuka bag days when I would just sit on this? But yeah, I feel really bad. Now I see why people were like defending the lead singer. Because I thought he was just like a traditional douchey lead singer, you know. I thought it was going to be, I don't know, I thought something like that, you know, where they're just a douchebag. Now I feel very bad. I'm so sorry. But then especially knowing, like, I've been, thankfully not too much, but I've been around, you know, besides a family member, you know, a couple times hanging out at Suicide Bridge over there in LA. You guys are probably, what is Suicide? Look up the Colorado Bridge in Los Angeles, but we also call it like Suicide Bridge, and it's next to like a mental asylum. Look that up. And I used to hang out there a couple times with a friend, and then one meth addict came up to us. Oh, thankfully I had my knife on me, but I thought it was gonna get down. But and then the whole band is doing the yayo, so I'm like, okay, no, yeah. So Spinal Tap director, as well as he's done other films, not just Spinal Tap, but Rob Reiner and his wife were found dead in their Brentwood home. And here's the thing, the son did it. There have been, you know, reports, I guess, like they were celebrating Hanukkah. There was a fight going on between the family or something like that. And family members reported, and they think it was probably Nick, you know, their son Nick. Apparently, I found out more about their son Nick. He's been struggling with drugs, struggling to keep clean. He had lived out in the street a few times, you know. And you guys are probably wondering, they have all the money in the world. How, dude, look at Andy Dick. Well, first of all, I don't feel bad for Andy Dick because, like, I've heard some fucked up shit about him. I have, like, so that's why I was like, I don't feel bad. But I also don't trust Dr. Drew. So I don't trust him at all. So I don't think he'll be the right doctor for anyone anyways. But anyways, Nick, you know, was like reported like being heavily on drugs. And then, you know, if you're in that world, you're going to have access to the best drugs, you know. So, and I'm pretty sure he just got really addicted. He got really fucked up. And yeah, I could see that, you guys. I could see that happening, and there are times I ain't worried about this motherfucker might do something to my dad. That's why. So the drug addict that lives in the garage. But unfortunately, I can't stop everything, and they tell me I'm wrong about everything here. So, you know, hopefully I am wrong about that. But I'm a woman, and they won't listen to me. So, sorry, I should not have like compared that. Sorry, I was trying to compare it to like how I know about these situations without making it about me. Sorry, it's been a tough. I don't want to say it's been a stressful. Let's just say, I'm just going to call it stressful right now. I don't understand, but I can see how it was him. Maybe something did happen in that family, like sexual abuse, you know, we don't know. But from what I know so far, this is from what I know, is just, you know, they found that it was him who killed his parents, stabbed them, by the way, stabbed them. And, you know, he's been dealing with drugs. I don't know any backstory about this guy. I don't know if he was harassed somehow. You know, usually that's what they find out. And that's why they did what they did. I don't know. As of right now, I just know the guy's a drug addict. And he killed his parents. That's all I know. So there is one more story I almost forgot. Poor Stacy. Now, I barely heard of poor Stacy, of his death. And I actually like kind of his songs when they were playing. I don't mind it. I know like Travis Barker was definitely a producer, played drums on one of his stuff. I don't give a fuck about Travis Barker, but you know, I'm just putting that out there in case you guys want to know how he was hitting it big. But it's just, you know, he also suffered, and you could hear it through his songs, that he suffered with a lot of suicide thought. He was reckless too and stuff, and I just know what I heard was really sad, that they found out that his girlfriend was there with their child. I believe it was both their child. I know for sure it was her child. But they said, you know, there was a child present. It definitely has to do a lot of like with substance abuse. And he was on one and she was on one. And then he pointed a gun at them and then he shot himself. They won't get into any more details, at least the parents of the girlfriend. But honestly, I don't think they know all the details either. It's not looking well for the girlfriend either. But I know she's been abused by him too, but at the same time she's been on substance stuff, and you know there was a child present, so that was even worse. Like, you know, you're gonna look guilty if you have a child present in that situation, unfortunately. But yeah, so that was sad to see, especially when there was a child involved. I was like, that's terrible. Yeah. But anyways, you guys, let me finish getting ready. I think that's like the last report I have to do. Alright, already. Anyways, that was that. How am I going to edit this? I don't know, but I get the feeling I'm going to have to take some stuff out just because I'm very paranoid. There's some little eyes spying on me that shouldn't be watching my content anyways. Anyway, so thanks you guys for watching. I'm about to head out. I'm going into Hollywood, hanging out with a friend. I don't know. Salud. This is from Ziggy's. It's a local coffee place in Hawthorne, California, right by Hawthorne High. One of my favorites. This is called the Beach Bum. Yes, I did quit energy drinks, but this is the only energy drink I will do, but I only order it like once a month. So anyways, salud one more time. I'll see you guys in the next video, okay?